Good morning, everybody. It is Tuesday, and we are going to be productive today, I hope. It's been a rough week so far since falling behind on the weekend. I'm trying to play catch up, so we'll see how that goes. And today, November 8th, word of wisdom is one of the advantages of being disorderly is that one is constantly making exciting discoveries. So I'm going to have to think about that a little bit more today because there's so many disadvantages of being disorderly. So one advantage is if you're disorderly, you tend to make exciting discoveries. And today, our lovely co-host is Katarina Aubrecht. All right, maybe she's not ready. When she comes, we'll pop on. We're going to do a 15-minute warm-up sprint to begin with. And let's see who's in the comments today. Hey, Paget. Yay, it's raining and I love it. Very nice. Very nice. Can be a good writing day. You don't feel guilty about sitting at the desk writing. Hey, Miss Ocampo, right? It's Monique. How are you doing? Haven't seen you in a while. Wonderful to see you. And Rita's here. Greetings. First sprint of my day. Here come chapter 5 with all the main characters. Ooh. Are they building a team? Well, what's going on? I need some writing help if anyone's free to chat. Sure. What do you need help with? Trying to work on a dialogue thing and the conversation needs to have a better flow. Gotcha.
Hey.
Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
Good. Rita's here to listen to
Nice.
Miss Ocampo, right? And how are you? Our lovely co-host, Katarina.
Howdy.
How's the morning going?
Pumpkin pancakes, so pretty okay.
I didn't eat anything yet, but I did go vote. So I got that.
Good.
Yeah, I got that done today.
We're doing that hopefully at lunchtime or something. Ooh, we got to do that.
Yeah, I had to do that today, so got that done. I'm kind of lazy today, just lounging with the the leggings and the sweatshirt today. I do.
Oh,
have
you
to
look cute though. Your hair looks great. Mine's.
Oh, this is so leftover. But I do have to do a couple haircuts later today, so I'll do that this afternoon. And I'm a little behind on my writing. How are you, Katarina?
Doing okay. Schedule got turned around a bit, but for the better, so that's good. And I am hoping to get the small project I want to complete that I'm definitely behind on done, and then also finish typing out what I already have written and get it passed. Right now it's under 200 words, so we'll see how it goes.
Nice. I'm gonna try to keep pushing along. I feel like such a slacker the last couple days, but it's okay because I don't want to be burned out. And if my brain and body are saying, go watch a movie, I'm going to go watch a movie. And because that's like an odd request to my brain too, because, a little bit, you know me a little bit. I'm not, I don't watch too much movies. I don't watch
you're
TV
kind of doing like essentially like a thesis of some kind. And like when my dad was writing his thesis back, he wasn't a TV watcher, but he read a lot of like really cheap romance novels and mystery novels. And then Chris got his PhD, and during that he would like decompress with like video games and TV, because like you just need to have something to turn your brain off when you're that invested in a project.
See, writing is my leisure.
Right, but you're really pushing it, and your brain it's still like a thing, and turning it off helps you squish through some of the stuff faster later. You're giving it the rest it needs to keep going.
Yeah. But I really need to be working. Also, another co-host today. Welcome, Heather.
Yeah, Heather. Hi.
Don't know Heather? This is Heather Dewey Pettet, writer, editor, artist,
Mm-hmm.
creator of many things. So, how's your day going, Heather?
Very busy. I just got home just a little bit ago, actually, because I had to. Um, Basically, there was a meeting at school, just to keep it simple.
Gotta
So
love those.
yeah, no,
Yeah.
it was good, all good. Just his beginning of his senior year stuff. So
Yeah.
goals and all that jazz. So.
Yeah. I love those meetings. It makes me want to like expand the IHIP I have just in case. So
Say that again.
I said I love school meetings. It makes me want to expand my IHIP for my kids. I create an IHIP in the beginning of the year.
What is
My
that?
kids, individual home education plan.
Oh,
Just
okay.
because you only have to give like 10 days notice to pull a kid. So
Okay, so
I
this
I
thing
do
goes
that in the
through then?
beginning of the year just in case I'm not as happy as I'd like to be. And I don't know, the last 3 years have been really big struggle with my children being in younger grades. So I'm almost to the point where they're like, I'm trying to constantly catch them up. And you know, every kid's so
You aren't alone though, because
every
apparently
kid
this
is
is
so
a big
different and
thing.
has different challenges. And sometimes that atmosphere isn't always favor each child.
It's not you though. Like the pandemic has made it difficult for like a lot of kids, according to teacher TikTok. Like a lot of kids are
Your kids are K through 3 when it started,
they're
and
struggling to catch
oh
up.
yeah, mine are a little bit.
Not yours necessarily, but like it's a
Mine
thing
are.
for all
My
kids.
son's doing really well, but
Oh,
he's
good.
5th grade.
Yeah, he was
My
a
daughter is in 3rd grade, who's still trying to play catch up a little bit, and she's more obstinate. So like, she just excels at different things, but I still have to keep her at grade level, you know.
I just think you're not alone. Like, I mean, if she hadn't started when the pandemic started, she'd probably be a lot further along, is my
Okay,
thought.
we're
Because a
working
lot of
every
kids.
day. We're working.
You're an amazing mom, both of you.
I
Like,
try.
I am impressed by
Thank you.
both of you. You put a lot of work into it, and you're wonderful,
Yeah,
both of
I
you.
was just talking to
Like, I couldn't
my
do it,
kids'
literally.
teacher during this, and it's actually an IEP meeting, which is individualized education
Mm-hmm.
plan. So, yeah, and it was talking to his teacher and his speech pathologist, and you know, they're like, "He's so awesome." I'm like, "Thank you,"
Yeah.
which he is.
Well, my daughter is the baby of 3, the only girl in the house besides me, and like knows she's super cute. So you know, and she's
If your kids act up at home, though, apparently it means that they have really
no,
learned a
she
lot from you. Not
doesn't.
act up like that, but like when they come home and they're a little more grouchy, it's because they know to hold that in during like being around other people, and they know
Right.
home is a safe space. So that means you guys are being amazing if that's something that your teachers are all like, "Oh, your kid's wonderful," and then like you're like, "What?"
We're just getting
I
to
don't
the
know.
like little
I'm
mouth
sorry, I'm
stage,
babbling. I'm not a
you
mom.
know. We're at the little mouthy stage right now, so it's like
I just want you guys to know, like, you guys are amazing and your kids are just right where they're supposed to be. And I hope that's helpful, but maybe not because I'm not a mom. But like,
it's okay
I
though.
don't know.
We
I'm
get it.
okay.
So
I
for
work in
me,
educational TV.
let's get away from kids. They're
I'm
not
sorry.
here.
I'm sorry.
They're not
Stranger
here in my
Things,
house. I
pancakes.
don't want to talk about. I need a break. Maria,
I'm just now eating myself, by the way, Bonnie. You mentioned
oh,
not eating yet. I'm just having a couple bites now.
sure. Well, we're going to do a 15-minute warm-up sprint. I'm going to try to get through the comments real quick and then get yourself ready. Miss Ocampo writes, says, my main characters are out on a date and it's somewhat awkward. One of them has been getting over a smoking addiction they had for about 6 months. And I could probably answer questions because I still have a smoking addiction. And I can't imagine it only being 6 months. Like, I think that would be much easier than someone who smoked really long term. So I would be happy to help on. I still smoke. I'll probably take a smoke break. I don't know. Let's see. So I want to somehow bring up the main guy character has been doing since not smoking for 3 to 4 months. I don't know. I think they would be doing great if they made it like 3 or 4 months. They only smoked 6 months and they already made it 4 months, 3 months without smoking. I would think they would be done with it and just like anywhere they went, they wouldn't be able to take the smell of it. They wouldn't want to look at it if they accomplished something, a feat as in like giving it up completely for.
My mom said she always craved cigarettes when she was getting drunk.
Is great.
But then she'd like go back into it.
Yeah. Yeah.
But she also smoked starting at age 12 because my mom's an idiot. Or not an idiot. My mom she was doing
I don't know. I still smoke medication and I take no other medications and it hasn't been a gateway for me. So I'm good. I'm content with it. So everybody's different though. Everybody has different needs.
I'm sorry, my foot
is going through. I mean, I would just try to put myself in that place of how I would feel if I only smoked 6 months. Let's say you dated someone who was a smoker, you started smoking, and then 6 months you've been smoking and decide, I don't want to do this, I want to give it up, but I find myself sneaking out on breaks to smoke a cigarette, and then you give it up for 3 or 4 months free of hiding it or trying to quit, or I would think you would be done with it 3 or 4 months if you made it. I think like the first 2 or 3 weeks are like most time I would say that you would be drawn in quickly, unless you kept the same circle of friends doing the same thing in the same places all the time. Like you quit but you're still going to hang out with your friends outside to smoke. I don't know. That should be an interesting story, though. I mean, you could write a whole story just on that. Mm-hmm. Let's see. Hello, Heather. Hello. It snowed overnight, but at least the wind isn't around for the last 2 days. A little late. I ran out to vote. There you go. During my break. Also did that today. Miss Ocampo says it's awkward because they're teenagers, 16 and 17, and they're not sure if they just want to be friends or if they really like each other. They're in the middle of a slow burn romance. Hey, Katarina, you gave me some great advice about Nano last stream. I saw you in, and I never thanked you. Thank you.
Oh, I'm so glad. That's hecking awesome.
Rita says, they sound like my characters, even around the same age. No dates other than group hangouts. Lots of comments. Miss Ocampo writes, that's very similar to what I am writing. They do, though they do know. Bye, Heather. The thing about my adorable dorks is that they've been friends for months and fight vampires together. There's always been an attraction. Ooh. I don't think I've ever seen a movie about a couple that fights vampires. I could be wrong. That'd be a nice take on it.
I'm down for this. I'd read it.
Oh yeah, my kiddo is still catching up socially. She's extroverted, so that helps, but she's still behind, I feel, in like sharing, having a conversation that isn't just her talking at a face, etc., etc. Yeah, my daughter's pretty shy, but she's pretty shy to strangers, but she's very clingy to us, if that makes sense. Rita says, I suggest keep it awkward, then the relation continues to change. Okay, so how can I show that my main guy character is still in the middle of getting over his smoking addiction? Would he wear a patch? What do you think, Heather?
Some might. Some might be not care for that sort of thing.
My dad carried around a pack of cigarettes in his pocket so that he wouldn't have to bum one, because he found if he bummed one, then he'd start smoking again. But if he had it, then he didn't have to bum one, so he could open the pack, but he never opened the pack. So it was like a challenge to himself. I don't know. I think everybody has their own way they go about it.
Yeah, because it depends on what his issue is that's keeping him addicted.
Right.
Is it the motion of his hands?
Is it that they grew up around fixation
of putting
somebody there?
Mouth?
That's a thing. People growing up around it.
Right, and it's somebody they love, so they have a good
I could do
association
this.
with the cigarettes. So like some people just, have it that way. Like my mom started young, and so every time she got drunk, she'd fall back into smoking.
Well,
And like I
yeah,
was
I
sick,
mean,
so
the
like
bar
she was
scene,
stressed, and it was a stress relief.
yeah,
Yeah, so like
even in my
everything.
lifetime, the bars were smoking, and I watched that change over. I mean,
Oh
even in
my
my
God, that was so wild when there were smoking sections in restaurants, right?
Mhm.
I remember smoking in the mall.
Oh, couldn't stand passing by that section.
With the skateboards and the grunge and smoking in the mall. People didn't smoke in the stores, but I remember it from being
Right?
Oh, I do.
corridors, and I remember like the Perkins and the Friendlies with the separate rooms, and
The Bob Evans.
I remember when they stopped it in the bars, and
Mhm.
I mean, so you got to think what era is it too, because that kind of goes
Yeah.
with drinking.
Right.
It was inside together,
Yes.
cohesive for
Mm-hmm.
a long
Yes.
time.
True. And just also like what kind of person is your person?
Mm-hmm.
And also what challenges do you want to like, is this something you want to make a big deal for them? Like why did they start smoking? That's a good question too to ask. Like what was the reason for starting? And that'll inform what they're
Yeah.
like now.
Yes,
Is my thought.
absolutely.
I'm gonna look at something real quick.
Oh God.
No, there's nothing in here.
That pancake flip
And then,
was
and then there's certain. Well, I think you started to say there's certain styles of smoking where some people are social smokers, some people are chain smokers.
mm-hmm. Some people are stress only smokers.
Yes.
Some other people prefer to have a mix of their smokes. And then there's those guys who like to smoke cigars because it's somehow fancy.
I like cigars.
Yeah.
But cigars are fun.
Not every day, not like an everyday thing.
Right?
I
My cousin's husband's
I
really
reveal too much about myself, maybe.
sorry. No, my cousin's husband really likes cigars, and like he goes to clubs where he can smoke them.
But if you're having a nice night and you're chilling and
Right?
you're in the right place, and I'll take a cigar. I mean, I probably couldn't smoke a whole one, but I can roll one.
Right?
I think it's helpful. We need a reminder that they're all behind, so none of them are behind.
Kids.
Mm-hmm.
Smoking, I loved it so much. Drinker, so for me, like, I don't know. I occasionally drink. Alcohol usually lasts me a really long time. So, and I self-medicate. I admit it. Miss Ocampo writes, one thing when I was younger, I helped with kids who had been busted for doing drugs, and one of the things you can do is have them eat a lot, especially with smoking. They tend to. I'm not a munchie smoker.
Oh, one of my friends in college replaced smoking with espressos. So every time he wanted a cigarette, he instead had an espresso. And then he started smoking again, and he's like, well, now I have a nicotine habit and an espresso habit. So that was counterproductive.
Heather, we don't want to go back to when Bonnie was drinking espressos all the time, do we?
I do. I'm here for it. Let's all do it. I'm an enabler. I love over-caffeinating
That was an experience to observe that. Bonnie.
Like literally,
I feel like I missed out.
I have a super caffeine sensitivity. So like espresso, I'm like the Energizer bunny when I espresso. I'm like super sensitive. I could run laps and
that's okay. It's okay. Yeah. But yeah, and you're you talk a mile a minute too.
Even faster than now, right? Even faster than now, right?
Yeah, that was interesting.
Hey, those streams were fun for me. I'm sorry.
They were fun because it was just fun too.
Caffeine highs are amazing, and I am here for it.
I need one right now.
I
need a caffeine high.
Oh, sorry. We're almost there. I'm going to try to get through it. They tend to trade addiction. So with smoking, they do things with their hands. So twirling pens or eating would be the most logical.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I'm good at pens too. Like
it'd be fun to give them a weird thing to play with, like a slinky or maybe a spinny bracelet. I don't know. I don't know. I think that adds in.
Maybe if they made themselves do something they didn't like before they had it, they would not want to smoke less because they wouldn't want to do the shitty things they have to do before they smoke a cigarette. Like before you smoke a cigarette, you got to go clean the toilet every time before you go smoke a
No,
cigarette.
no, see, then it ends up being a
Okay.
reward because that's what happens for me. I'm like, oh, look, I'm going to go do something. Let me smoke. Oh, I did it. Let me smoke again as a reward for myself. Look at that. Good job, Katarina.
What's this? My former boyfriend's dad smoked for like 50 years and then quit. And after a few months, he was okay, except for right after a meal. He really wanted one. He's not addicted anymore, but the smoking is connected to the memory of someone they lost who smoked. So maybe you could flip the switch that he's not going to smoke because it has that negative connotation to it or connection to it because they lost someone because of that. So that's why he keeps the lighter, because it belonged to that lost loved one. Gotcha. It's not really that.
Maybe he could be worried that he might lose this new person.
All right.
That could be a thing, and that would cause him anxiety, and he'd want to smoke.
All right, I am gonna pop up this. Lots of comments today. That took a little while.
That was fun.
Oh,
it's nice to see everybody on a Tuesday.
Bonnie, I just want to say real quick that I might only be here for this first sprint because I'm actually scheduled to be on Shannon's channel at noon.
Okay.
Eastern. So just want to remind you.
Is that writing sprints on Shannon's channel at noon?
Yeah, nano sprints.
Maybe we'll probably cut today a little short then, and try to get a couple sprints in and not go too long because I
do what you need to do.
That's all good. How about I do the countdown? We'll just get this going. 15 minutes. We are going to get ready to write. Usually we're writing by now. We're moving a little behind. Same in my nano. And let's get going. We'll get going. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Sorry, technical. Remember, you can always mute if music bothers you. Welcome back, everyone. Just trying to get everything all set. I need a few more seconds to set up my next timer, and there's some playing with two computers today. How'd you do on that sprint?
I ate pancakes. They were delicious.
I finished eating the apricot tart I was eating.
Ooh,
What is it?
tasty.
What was it?
You're making me hungry.
Apricot almond tart.
I'm gonna have to get some rye toast.
Ooh,
I had
that
half
sounds
of it for
amazing.
dessert last night, and half of it for breakfast.
I made
Nice.
I made a beef pot roast with potatoes and beans and carrots and peas with the gravy. And
So I'm coming over for dinner soon. Just FYI, I'll be driving the 20 some odd hours.
It was good. There's a little bit left. So
Let's see,
amazing.
it's about
go
8
Heather's
and a
direction
half
and do, like, an
hours
egg
from Tampa
sandwich
Bay
real
to New York.
I'll go with eating chips. That sounds good. I still have a little bit of the garden salsa left. I didn't eat them all yesterday. Yep, Joel Timer playing with something different. Good morning, Shadows Lair. Nice to see you pop in. I hope you took that time to get your document open or whatever you're working on. Rita got 180 words and got my characters at the footbridge and is joined by the new boy.
Ooh, it's a
I also made fresh coffee.
Nice. Roast is on the menu for Saturday night. Yeah, I was craving it. I'm like, what can I do? And it was really good. I did it in the crock pot, so I just like prepped everything and threw it in, and then after Boy Scouts last night, dinner was all ready.
It's like when I made what did I make? Oh yeah, I made beef stew myself.
That sounds
nom 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 nom.
Recently, and then I made my family. We always have Halloween chili. It's been a thing in my family for.
I think I saw some of that on Instagram.
Decades. Yeah, it was. It was linked from Instagram to Facebook. So I love that feature.
Right. Food sounds good. I'm surprised you're not eating an egg sandwich, Heather.
I know. I didn't have time to make that. So
217. I was having a bit trouble with figuring out the words to use in the dialogue. Can be tough. Getting in the character's head. I got the ball rolling. Wonderful. I did 96 words, and I'm starting chapter 4, and I'm cheating a lot. I'm not cheating, but I skipped the end of chapter 3. So I have to go back and write that, but I feel like I have to write chapter 4 before I can write the bridge from 3 to 4.
I just write whatever I'm in the mood to write, because somewhere in high school I was like, look, I can't start. I kept getting stuck at the beginning. So I was like, fuck it. I'm going to just start in the middle. And that was very helpful. I highly recommend.
I think that's my problem. I was like procrastinating. I didn't feel like writing that part yet.
Thought of that back then.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I was just. I wish I'd thought of that back then, Katarina. That would have saved some struggles.
Oh, poor thing. I hate how there's no lack of like allowing for imagination, because when you're a kid, you kind of need people to be like, hey, and if it doesn't work for you, you can do it this way.
Yeah. Well,
the educational system is what it is.
My kids have no lack of imagination at all. My daughter will she'll start with something realistic, like believable. Like she tries to get me to believe her. Like, she's 8, and so she'll start with something realistic. So I'm listening. I'm like, yeah, this happened. And then it'll just go off the rails. And I'm like, there's no way. Like, you're lying. She laughs at me and smiles. Like, she starts with this realistic, something, logical that would happen. And then she goes, I'm just joking. I'm like, wow, please nobody believe her, because she goes off the rails. It's tough. Their imagination is deep, little kids. I'll tell you what, they think of things I could never think of.
I will probably be ducking out in just a few.
Miss Ocampo writes, got 200 words so far. Janella Schnepp, I hope. Janella Schnepp. Am I saying that right? I'm trying to. Thank you so much for hosting these sprints. I haven't written since last week, Tuesday, so I'm 12,000 words behind. I got 367 words done since I tuned in. That is awesome, because that was only a 15-minute sprint. And you can do what I do. I write while other people are talking sometimes on the sprints. So do what works for you. Exactly.
Yes.
There you go.
And you got words on a page, so congratulate yourself already. You have a button, a chair, and you're doing it.
And I'm gonna pat myself on the shoulder too. Only 96 words, but the last.
Somebody said no onlys. I forgot who said that.
Yeah, well, do what works for you, and
you got words on the page.
It's hard to catch myself not saying only, because this is the one time a year it is only for me, because I'm not usually too worried about how many words I get in a month. Usually, this is the only month I'm worried about that.
It's true.
So
It's
in
true.
my head, I feel like only, and I'm behind. But maybe people who write all, I don't know.
Just making sure hubby's all right.
Yeah,
We're just all trying to make sure we have good mental health through this. And I think that's why we jump on each other a little bit, just because we want to make sure we're all mentally like stable and chill and know that this is for fun on some level.
If
We
you
all
know
love you.
me, I can be a little
Yeah,
hard on
remind myself of
myself. I can be a little hard on myself, and this, I don't set a massive goals in writing,
Bonnie.
and this is a goal I have in writing, the 50,000 words this year, because I haven't made it in the time allotted in the past 2 years. So for me, it is a mental block probably, but only for me.
It's only a mental block if it's preventing you from doing the work. If it's not, then it's not a mental block, and carry on, love.
Yeah, I don't, do what's right for you. If for me, it is like one of my big goals to hit 50,000 words in 1 month for Nano, because I've attempted it twice and I haven't made it. So I'm behind. I need to catch up. So I'll try not to use the word only this much and only that, but it's a mental block trying to fight that writer's guilt I get for when I fall behind on Nano.
Oh,
I just want to hit that goal, It's
I
the
understand.
third
it's
year.
not
Can I
over
get the
yet.
50K in
It's
1
not
month?
over yet, Bonnie.
Yeah.
You still got a good chunk of the month left,
Just
and I
started
think you can
week
catch
2.
up.
It just take like one all-nighter.
I'm raising my hand like I'm
I
in
won't be
class.
saying only.
I'm so bad.
I just want to say super quick, since it's 45 after the hour. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for inviting me today.
Sure.
I think I
Maybe
need
you'll
to
join us on a Monday.
go. What's that?
Maybe you'll join us for brunch writing bunch on a Monday. So.
Yeah. Yes. I would like to do that.
Wonderful. Well, you have a great day, Heather, and
Thank you. You too.
I think everybody's ready
You
for the
guys.
next sprint. I know I am. I'm only. Let me stop.
Let's do it to it, bitch.
Every time I say only, I'm gonna like swap my hand because
mentally,
it's
yeah.
bad for me right now. So I apologize if I'm
I get
offending
it.
by saying only. It's a me problem. I'm the problem.
You are perfect. You are all perfect.
I'm
We're
a
right where we
perfect
need to
problem. It's okay.
be. You are amazing. We're all
There
wonderful.
has to be a villain. It might as well be me.
Only if you want to, darling.
I don't want to be anybody's muse. Thank you very much.
Bye, you guys.
All right, bye.
Pleasure having
See
you.
you later.
Later, Gator.
You too.
We're going to use this wonderful timer by Laura Nettles. Katarina, do you want to do the countdown? And
We are ready in 5, 4, 3, 2, right.
I did it right the first time.
all the money he had already.
Hello, how'd everybody do on that sprint? Let me know in the chat. I made some food, just getting the next timer ready. Sorry, I'm gonna make it a little longer. Break in between. I am almost done. I made an egg sandwich. It was pretty good, really quick, and I'm listening to my first 3 chapters that I wrote on speech. So it's interesting. I made a lot of grammar mistakes, and the speech, when it talks, it doesn't like the way I spelled a character name, so I might have to work on that a little bit. I think I do it a little unorthodox. If you have a Mac computer, there is built into the system a notepad called Text Edit, and under Text Edit, I like to just dump stuff and then I'll move it over to a Google Doc. But in Text Edit, it does allow me to use my dictation software, and it will give you different options where it will read it out loud to you. And I really, really like that. And Katarina is trying to figure out how to vote. So we will give her a few minutes to do that. Let me know when you're ready, Kat. And so I didn't actually write that sprint. I got some food, which I haven't eaten all morning, which is good that I did that. I hope if you haven't eaten that you're going to eat sometime soon. And I listened to my story. So I'm not going to go back and edit anything. I'm just going to listening to it and going to continue writing in chapter 4. So let's see what everyone else did. This date scene is getting good. A couple of troublemakers just walked into the room to shake things up. Drama. That's pretty interesting. My story also has 2 characters that come into the scene that are just completely drama, and their names are Corinne and Soraya. And Stacy says, Miss Ocampo writes laughs. I had my 3rd and 4th wheels leave so my people could finally talk. Nice. Some one-on-one time. 500 words to go until I meet my goal for today. That is wonderful. Keep going. You're almost there. I believe in you. You can do it. Stacy wrote another 423. That is awesome. I'll be eating lunch after I finish. Good idea. Rita, I finished handwriting that chapter. Next up is to type it up and see how it changes. I have to add lots of extras and details for the last scene. And Rita, let me know, I find my writing is very different when I handwrite and when I type and when I dictate. What do you like the best? And I tend to dictate in what I handwrite. So that helps me too, because for some reason I'm a slow guy. If I can handwrite fast, but then when I go to put the handwriting into the computer, I need dictation because then I can just read what I wrote versus reading and typing. So let me know what works for you. Handwriting, typing, or dictation. I'm behind 2. Jenna Schnepp, don't worry, we'll catch up. I am with you all and hoping to catch up also. So I am going to do one more 20-minute sprint and then close it down today for Shannon's stream. And I'm going to get that right up and going. This will be the last sprint of the day. Let me just grab the timer and 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's go. We can do it. Welcome back, everyone. How'd you do on that sprint? I did 3:13 and I finished up my lunch. So I'm feeling pretty good about that. And Penumbrum popped in. Didn't get a notification, but we're glad he popped in. Janella Schnepp says, yay, hit 6K today. Y'all rock. You rock. 6K is great. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. And we have the rest of this week and 2 more weeks to get to that 50K. And I know we can do it. If that is your goal, I know you can do it. And I did check. It looks like SD Houston stream starts at 1 o'clock. So it's not overlapping right now. I think we could get in 1 more productivity sprint and we'll call that a day. Let me know. And I think we can. I think I'm going to set up a different timer because I used this one already, the one I grabbed real quick. I'm going to go with the 20-minute AuthorTube timer with Joan Ninja Hen and the computer keyboard. Finished that scene, and then after school events added 280 words. So now I'm at 14,346. That is great. That is great. Hello, Jolie's the author. Yes, for all the sprints. Thanks for hosting. No problem. I do writing sprints on Mondays at 11, brunch writing bunch, prompt coffee, and during Nano, I will be doing a few more. So no problem. I did 320 this sprint. That's great. That's great. Yeah, feels pretty good. I'm good for about 300, I think, right now. Maybe as the day goes on, momentum will build. I am ready to do more writing. Me too. So let's get the next sprint going. We will get the last 20-minute sprint in before 1 o'clock, and then SD Houston will be on hosting NaNoWriMo writing sprints. So I hope you all are productive during the day, and we're going to get going in 3, 2, 1. Let's go. And remember, you can mute if you don't enjoy the music. Hope everyone did well that sprint. I did 262 on that sprint, and I'm currently writing a scene where there's a language barrier, and so it's a little bit slow moving in this scene. I think I have to think it out a little bit. I did look over my chapter 4 notes I made in my outline for this scene, and it's a little bit slow moving, but we will get there. And Stacy says, I think I'm on track to hit 30K in my project by the end of the day. That's great. That is awesome. Very cool. And SD Houston will be on at 1 o'clock. That's just about 5 minutes from now. And Paget says, that's amazing. I do want to thank you for joining me today in Writing Sprints. I will probably be lurking around a little bit later among the other author tubers doing writing sprints to maybe do some power hours a little bit later today after I do all the things that I have to do during the day and get those out of the way. I hope you enjoy writing today, and in whatever you're doing, you're happy and having fun with it, because writing is fun. We get to be creative and imaginative, and I do wrote 404. I do hope you have a wonderful day, and it's only Tuesday, so there's more time in the week. And Shadows Lair says, I just hope to hit my goal again today. I'm sure I will. Thanks for the sprint. It's okay if you do. It's okay if you don't. You know, be accountable to yourself and do what works best for you. And again, I will be lurking. See you over at SD Houston's Writing Sprints. One more. I have 29,657 words in my project at the end of the sprint. So close. So close. You can do it. I believe in you. And I hope you all have a wonderful Tuesday. Happy writing.